Hey guys, it's Vicky, and I have this idea I wanted to try with you guys. I wanted to do these weekly highlight updates about my life as a mom, entrepreneur, and doing human things. And honestly, it's more for myself as I want to take the time to, reflect on my life, the things I've done, the accomplishments, the challenges, embracing the not so good parts of life, but also celebrating all the wins. And I've been trying to find a new way to express myself and use my authentic voice. And I find it awkward sometimes because I kind of go into this anime persona, but I feel like I need to try speaking from my heart. So hopefully it's not going to sound too awkward. And yeah, we'll dive into the first week and see what I did. Week of May 19th, it was a long weekend and we just came back from doing Otafest. Ben and I and Joyce went down to set up for noms and sell there over the weekend. And it was an amazing time just hanging out with everyone and meeting some of our friends and seeing our loyal customers was really rewarding and lots of fun. And somehow, because of my last post about Joyce wanting Labubus, we got gifted some Labubus. I'm really grateful for that. The mommy's gonna hold on to them. No, just kidding. She gets to play with them too. We went to the library for story time twice this week. Usually I go about 2-3 times a week, and I've been trying to bring Joyce out to do more story time because I feel that she's a little shy around other kids. When she's around adults, she's like amazing because I bring her to see so many of my adult friends and she has no fear and just chats up a storm with them. But when she's around kids, she gets really timid, and I think it's because she doesn't get to hang around too many kids too often. So I'm like, okay, I gotta find activities for her to do so that she can be more exposed to people her age. So that's why I decided to check out the story time because they have a lot of programming with the library, which is amazing and of course free. So this is my 3rd week doing story time, and I've seen a really good improvement of her actually opening up and going out to be more friendly with the kids and not wanting me to pick her up, and she's able to explore. So I'm really happy about that. This week we went for a tour at a Montessori school for Joyce, and we got accepted to start in fall. So I'm really grateful for that because I'm very excited for her to be around more other kids and learning some life skills and things that I don't know how to teach her. So yeah, and the thing is, she did try daycare back in January, but it didn't turn out too well for her, and not for me either. It was a hard experience for the whole family. She got sick so often. Like in the 6 weeks she was in daycare, she got sick 4 times, I got sick 3 times, and Ben got sick 3 times too. And it was very challenging with our work to have to manage a sick child and us being sick. Like this is like full-blown sick, like fever, like for a few days kind of sickness, like 4 times. So they say that when you first start daycare, definitely it's like a petri dish of sickness. Is no joke. It's very stressful and very hard. So we pulled out of that daycare just because it just didn't really work with our lifestyle. And I'm grateful that because we run our own business, we are able to make that choice. But it's really challenging to find things for her to do, all the activities and everything, so which I'll talk about later. This week I also started working out at the gym again. Well, sort of. At the gym we went to, there is an option where you can leave your child with their care for 2 hours. You can go work out and shower and then pick them up again after. And we did buy this annual pass last fall for the whole family so we can, go work out and get some break from Joyce. But it didn't really work out because she was crying a lot and the separation anxiety was really hard on her. So we decided to take a break from it. So again, we tried it on Thursday, and the entire hour she was there, she did amazing. She just played and she had no problems with it. So I was like, oh my God, thank God, I'm so happy. I was just riding a bicycle, just, in case they call me, I have to go pick her up. So I'm like, okay, well, now that we have this done, let's do it again tomorrow. So I went again on Friday and I signed up for a yoga class. I'm like, oh yes, I can finally do a class. But halfway through the class, they called me and they said Joyce had been crying for the entire half an hour since I left. And she just wouldn't calm down. And I was like, oh my God, oh no. So I left halfway through the class to go pick her up, and she was going through separation anxiety again. And I'm not sure what happened because I've been bringing her out to all of these story time at the library. She's been doing really well, and all the music classes she's been going to, she's been doing really good too. So I don't know what happened with that she had to go through this regression, but I'm going to try again the next week to see how it goes and keeping my fingers crossed. Maybe it's just a one-time thing. We'll see how she does next week. And talking about music class, it's her 3rd week doing her private music lessons, and I've been signing up her for all these group activities so I can get her more socialized with other kids. So this is another activity I signed her up for, and this is a class where it's like max 4 children in the class, and there's one teacher that teaches some kind of music theory, introduction to different instruments. And her 3rd class, I was able to kind of drop her off, hang out with her for 5 minutes and leave, and she was able to stay in the class, no crying or anything, and just be super engaged with the teacher and her classmates. So I was very happy with that, and it's really cute. They give you this little iPad so you can watch the security camera outside and watch them do their lesson. So another reason why I signed her up for this class, so I can help her feel safe that I'm not there for a short period of time, but she knows that mommy's always going to come back, and I'm glad she's having a good time there. So I'm going to keep doing this class because I think it's great for her socialization and also with building her confidence that mommy always comes back. I know it's pretty crazy. I signed her up for so many classes, but this was her first week doing her sports class. It's called Sports Ball, and it's like an introduction to different types of sports for kids. And this week, because it was a drop-in, she dropped into the golfing class, learning how to hold the golfing stick and to putt the ball and to drive it. And she's already having difficulty just holding the stick. She kind of just keeps playing and feeling it out. But I think that's okay. At least she gave it a shot. But it was kind of cute and sad at the same time. When I dropped her off, we got into the gym and she immediately climbed back onto me. She's like, no, mommy, no, no. She was so scared. I'm like, oh, what's going on? You know, there's all these kids here. We're here to, you know, play some ball, and mommy's here. It's safe to be here. And she's like, mommy, little bit scared. I'm like, oh, she likes to say little bit like this with her fingers at her eye. I'm like, oh, okay. So then the coach came over and was like, hey, Joyce, do you want to join us? She's like, no. I'm like, okay. And the coach said, well, why don't you watch? And when you're ready, you can come over. She's like, okay. So we sat on the sideline and watched for a few minutes. And then she tugged on me and said, mommy, I'm ready. And I was like, oh, my heart, that was so cute. I think she just wanted to warm up to the environment, see what was happening before she was ready to jump in. And I've noticed that with her for a lot of other stuff, even at the library, swimming classes and everything. She needs to just observe for a little bit before she jumps in, so she kind of gets a grasp of what's going on. And it's that time of year again, my annual physical checkup. I went for my checkup, and interestingly, usually I just get blood work and urine sample, but this time they asked me to do an ECG. I'm like, oh, am I old enough to do one? And they're like, oh no, usually the younger doctors like to get a baseline of the younger adults so that they know when they're older what the baseline is. Like, okay, I'm like, am I old now? Do I have to get an ECG because I'm so old? But I mean, you know what, more data, better for me, so I can, you know, get my results. But then I got a little concerned because yesterday I got a call from the doctor's office and they said that my doctor wanted to see me next week. And usually they don't call back unless there's something wrong with your blood work. So I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of gave me a little bit of anxiety. I'm like, okay, hopefully it's nothing too big. We'll see what's happening. And on Sunday, I wasn't expecting doing this, but there is a Rainmaker rodeo that was happening, and I decided to take her with my sister to go check it out. And when we went to the petting zoo, and there was pig races, which is super cute. It ended off really fast, but I mean, the little 9-month-old piggies were running, scuttering along. It was very cute. We took her to the petting zoo afterwards, and she really enjoyed seeing the bunnies and the duck, because all I've been reading is like books about ducklings from the library. And she got really scared of the ghosts. They're actually quite aggressive. I don't know, they like jumping all over me, and I honestly don't like farm animals, but I wanted to provide my child with an enrichment of education. So I'm like, okay, I can do this. Let's go. We can do it. But I think they were quite aggressive, jumping all over her too, and she got really, I guess, scared of them. But she enjoyed the rest of the animals. Just the ghosts were a little aggressive. And then we saw beside the petting zoo, there were ponies, and they're offering pony rides. I'm like, oh, why not? And I asked her, which pony do you want? And she's like, the pink one. I'm like, that's my child. That's my child. So she put on her hat, and I was quite surprised. I thought she'd be scared, but when I put her on the horse, she just like, what do I do? Where do I hold? She kind of like hold on the saddle, and I just held her back to make sure she wasn't going to fall. And she enjoyed it. She was like smiling and enjoying the ride. And then as soon as we ended, she's like, next horse. I'm like, oh, that's it. Sorry, baby, we're gonna go. And last but not least, I did something for myself this weekend. I went to a Gals Hangout Pilates class. It was my first time doing Pilates, so I was a little worried that I wasn't gonna be able to keep up. And I didn't realize this Pilates is actually one of the more hardcore ones. It's called Lagree, which is like a slower form of Pilates where you use a larger machine called the Mega Reformer, I think, and you hold the poses for 4 seconds. So it becomes really painful as you're moving deeper and deeper and deeper into your stretch, but you have to keep holding it. And I think it really fine tunes your muscles a lot more because, man, you're really working on those abs and like thighs and everything because you're trying to hold that pose for a longer period of time. But to my surprise, I really enjoyed it. I actually didn't know I was that strong. So I felt kind of like really proud of myself, like probably from holding my child. I got all these muscles. I would love to do it again, but it's actually quite far from where I live, and they don't offer this Lagree style of Pilates anywhere else except for that location. So I'm gonna think about it if I want to make the trek down there to do this type of Pilates. And last but not least, we're trying Joyce for a sleepover at the grandparents tonight, and she cried a bit for me and Ben while my other grandparents were putting her to sleep. So hopefully tonight she's not going to wake up in the middle of the night wanting to come home, keeping my fingers crossed. I know it's been really tough with that, with the separation anxieties randomly popping up again this week. And we've been trying to, you know, transition her so that she can take longer and longer stretches away from me, especially when I'm going to be going down to Anime Expo in July. I'm going to be gone for a whole week, and I'm just a bit nervous about her not being with me. We're going to keep her back home while I go down this time because it's really challenging to bring a toddler with you when they run everywhere. So we're going to keep doing like maybe one night and then 2 nights in a row where she doesn't see me for 2 days and how that goes. So wish me luck with everything. And guys, thank you so much for listening to me ramble about my update this week. Seems like I was actually doing quite a bit and I had lots of fun. So until next week, I'll give you another update. Thank you.